Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Good morning. Today is the 12th of November and I'm just walking from the car park to the exhibition halls at the National Exhibition Centre here in Birmingham for the Lancaster Insurance Classic Car Show. I think there are some motorbikes in there as well, but I don't know anything about motorbikes, viewers, so yes, we won't be going and probably concentrating too much on those. I'm here for the entire 3 days. It lasts from Friday to Sunday. I don't have a special press pass. I don't have an exhibitor pass. You know, this is a slightly shambolic shuffle, and this is the first of probably 6 or 7 parts that you'll see. Because we're going to try over the next 3 days to get round absolutely everything. There are some sorts of cars that I might not film. Those include stuff that's really modern, particularly modern supercars. It's not really the sort of thing that I don't think that most of you want to see on the channel, so we just won't film them. But because it's a classic car show, and I had a look through the app that you can get to see, you know, roughly what's here, and there's a lot of stuff here. So just got over the queue. I've got here about an hour and a half after it opened. I didn't want to get caught in the traffic too much, but there's still a lot of people here queuing, so I think I will just stop this bit here. Apologise in advance for incorrect information, wind noise. If I get interrupted by announcements, if I get interrupted by people who recognise who I am, I mean, that's far less likely to happen than it would be if I were, say, I don't know, in Seabrook or Mount Richardson or Steph Holloway or somewhere like that, but it might happen, it happens sometimes. But anyway, that's quite enough of me going on. Let's start in Hall 5 because, well, I've got a special place I need to go first of all, and we'll shambolically shuffle our way around this first part of about 6 or 7. Right, viewers, here we are in Hall 5. You can just see in the background there might be a couple of stands just up those stairs, which is actually Hall 4 just there, with some familiar people which you might recognise from the automotive YouTube world, but won't go up there right now. Start off with this Volkswagen thing. I forget what they were called over here. This is a right-hand drive one, so it's probably not a thing, because that was just the American market model for these. They were called all kinds of things all over the world. The type number of these I think was 181 or 182, depending on where you were. This one's rather a fetching shade of kind of army green. I think those are Porsche 911 wheels. They're sort of the earlier type of 911 wheels, which do fit a lot of Volkswagens. Very basic. I mean, someone's put some wooden floorboards in here. So it tells me though it's not entirely standard. Don't know what's lurking under the bonnet, but it might not be the original air-cooled engine. We've seen this before. Yes, we have. This is a Honda Acti. I forget what year this is. Probably sort of early to mid 80s, but I mean it's been changed quite a lot since it came out of the factory about 40 years ago. Something that you would have seen actually in the I Drive a Classic video, which went up this morning at the time of recording. Actually, you'll probably see this video today as well, because that's the one I like to do things. There's this mini camper van. Now it's a Clubman. That's a 74 or 75 plate. But those wheels, I think, are off a 1980s Mini. So we've had a few modifications along the way, and those rear lights on it definitely don't date from the 1970s. Interesting. Ooh, the Great British Car Journey. I do plan on visiting the Great British Car Journey. They looked at the sort of rules as to what they do in terms of filming, and I need to actually have a little word with them and just make sure that I can film on my own equipment when I go there. Otherwise, you have to pay a fair bit of money and also go with an instructor if you want to go for a drive in one of their cars. But because it's relatively close to where my uncle lives, you would have seen my uncle's car perhaps on the channel in about, I think, August. You would have seen that, which is just go to a rapid spaceback. He doesn't live too far from there, and neither does actually Mr Coleman, road mechanic, who will be paying a visit to quite soon. But they've got this rather interesting Cortina estate. It's Mark II 1970, very late Mark II. It's actually an ambulance. Let's take a look at this. It's sort of ivory colour that a lot of kind of public service vehicles were in the 1960s and 70s. It reminds me kind of sort of watching Z cars or something. It looks a bit sort of similar to those, although of course those were different. Those were things like Zephyrs and Zodiacs. And there we go, it actually fits it down. Reminds me of the kind of thing they used to do with the Citroen DS and CX models. There's a DeLorean here, looking very shiny. No flux capacitor. Yes, it's an early one, it's an 81. You know, I wouldn't really want to drive one of these. I know the pedals are in the right kind of thing, but I don't know how sort of comfortable it would be for passengers. So, yeah, it's a 1937 Chubby. What on earth is this? I know this is the oldest car that they have in the Great British Car Journey Museum. Let's just take a look at this information board and cheat whilst we're here. Arrol Johnson XS2 from 1902. So that would be eligible for London to Brighton run. Excellent. Ooh. Is this for Golf GTI? No, just a Mark 1 Golf Owners Club. It's not just a GTI club, but obviously the GTI is, I think, the most common model remaining now. That's sort of pre-facelift one. There was a facelift for them about 1980. I don't know an awful lot about them really in comparison to some people. But that, yeah, on an S it'd be 77, 78. This one's been modified as well. That's just not standard wheel. Oh look! Now, if the viewer's not going to believe this, Mr. Miller, but this is completely unintentional.
It's genuinely not scripted.
Generally not scripted, and this is the first time I've actually seen you in real life.
It's very good to meet you,
which is very strange, sir. How are you, sir?
Very good. Yourself? Hello to all your lovely viewers.
Yes, and you actually got a press pass.
I actually do. I'm with Kelsey Media Classics World, Hall 1, Bentley Turbo R. Come and see us.
Yes, you're not in this hall though, are you?
I'm not. This is Hall 1 we're in, and
yeah.
I'm shirted up.
Oh, that's why you're here, is it?
Well, absolutely.
I'll be Shambolic shuffling my way over there later.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to seeing you, sir.
See you later, Mr. Miller.
See you very soon.
You never know when there's going to be time for a YouTube crossover, do you, viewers? Anyway, we've hope we haven't peaked too early. Right, okay. Ooh, very shiny under there. Some of you viewers out there will tell me if this engine's standard or not, because I haven't got a clue. I honestly have no clue about these things. Nice BBS alloy wheels, very sort of period upgrade. It'll be a bit later though than this car. This is on a V, so 7980. Volkswagen owned this themselves. It's interesting, there we go, there's some information about it. Registered March 1980, one of the first 5-speed right-hand drive 1.6 GTIs, so there we go. Golf Cabriolet, those I think are Porsche 911 wheels, unless I'm mistaken those are off a 993 type. That's classic Mark 1 dash in these, although I think the earlier cars had a slightly different dash than this. And we can have a look. This is the S-Reg one. Yeah, it's a bit different. Again, let's see what we've got under here. Now that doesn't look. That looks like a much later engine. I'm not going to actually speculate. Gosh, we're in sort of Volkswagen country here. We've got Mark II Sciroccos with a 24 valve, that's probably a 1.8. There we go. Yes, a later engine. That looks like it's off an Audi. Very nice colour. I like this bronze. Do we have? We have a number plate E, 8788. I don't know what model of Scirocco this is. Nice Recaro seats in that. I don't know. This one's a 16 valve GTX. I bet that's fast. Have a look at the interior as well. Again, it's very sort of, I don't know, Mark II Polo kind of interior. The 80s Volkswagens like this had such kind of austere interiors, it was unbelievable. Having done a Mark II Polo fairly recently on Sensible Second-Hand Classics, I know all about those. Now this is the Mark I Scirocco, a Scirocco Storm. Let's just see here, what year is this? Production of the Scirocco ceased in July this year, so they made them until 1992. So a good deal of overlap with the Corrado that was a bit later. We're going to have a look at one of those in a second. So 80-81 plate, so one of the last of the Mark I Sciroccos. Here's an earlier Mark II. This is another Scirocco Storm. Interesting. I think these are the regional wheels of the car. I think they call them the bottle caps, although I'm not really sure. I'm not very good on 1980s Volkswagen series. Just take a look at the interior, very careful. I've got a rubber case on this phone, so we're okay to get nice and close, just be very careful. Oh, there we go. Looks like it's all original engineering under there as well. And look at those headlamp washers. Fantastic. Corrado VR6. This one looks like it's had a lengthy restoration process. Very nice. I always wanted to have a go in one of these. There we go, there's a plate here. So it's a relatively late one. I think they finished production in 95. I think that was due to emissions regulations and that sort of thing. It's 1994, midnight blue, nice colour. Also midnight blue on Volvos in the 1980s and 90s, because the Volvo 240 my mother had was a midnight blue. It's a different colour from that. Earlier Corrado. I wonder if this is a G60. Let's see if it has information here. Oh no, it's an American spec 1.88 valve. Wow. So it's the I think that's the smallest engine they have with these. Yeah, it's about 1990 or thereabouts. Ooh. Oh. Alto Unions. Confusingly with what would sort of later become just an Audi badge. DKW Universal. Originally DKW actually stood for Dampkraftwagen, which meant steam car. But by this stage it was just some initials. I think they marketed it as Das kleine Wunder, a small wonder. I don't think I've ever seen one of these ever before in real life. DKW or Alto Unions, both names were sort of used, a bit confusing. They were eventually bought out by, I think first Mercedes-Benz and then Volkswagen. Yeah, DKW 1000 or the Universal is the, I think, the estate type. It's fascinating. Another DKW 1000 here, but this one's, well, it's been converted to run on electricity. Yeah, DKW 3 comes. I think the 1000 name is also used. These had like a 2-stroke engine in them, from what I remember. I'm very bad at things like that. Is this a Schnelllaster? Oh, it is. Do you know, viewers, I've never seen one of these before in my life. Sort of commercial version of the 3/6 or 1000 or whatever. They use all kind of different names. Sonderklasse. The marketing got very confusing. I'm not surprised in a way that they had issues, shall we say. Here's the sort of off-road car that they built. I forget what they call it. Yeah, the Munga 4. There we go. 64. That is actually a 64 plate. There we go. I'm learning something new every day. Is that? Oh, it's a Borgward. The demise of Borgward in 1961 was one of the strangest ways for a company. No, I don't think it actually ran out of money or anything like that. Just sort of bordering sort of fighting, and I think they forced a founder of the company out of his own firm. Very strange. You have to look it up online of what happened exactly. But this is a 1960 Borgward Isabella Coupe. I think this is original right-hand drive one. That's wonderful. 1957 Borgward Mr Coleman 2400. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in real life. It looks like this again is a UK car. It's right-hand drive. Often they are. That's amazing. Look at that. You're following a Borgward designed for modern motoring. Another original UK car, I think. It's right-hand drive. 1960 Borgward Isabella Combi. Borgward, as far as I know, are trying to make a comeback. I think with, is it Chinese owned car or something? It's something like that. They're not sold in this country at the moment. They are sold in other parts of Europe. Umbrella handbrake, column gear shift, typical sort of early 60s upholstery. There we go. Townsend, Forson and Seelig. Sehnsucht ist unheilbar, Borgward. Another bit of early 60s German marketing slogans. We also quite like these Citroen Ami 6s. This one looks very, very kind of patinated. You know, back in, I think 61, 62, these were launched. It was the sort of trend to have these sharp sort of angles like this. But this still looks sort of very retro futuristic. It was a 66 model, this one. It's 67, 68. I think these are both the Ami C variety that was the original type. They made them much later than that though. They made them through about 78. I think they stopped production of the Ami Wheat. Much more conventional looking rear end. Still not a hatchback though. That was I think reserved for something like a GSA, which came along a bit later. This is a J, so it'd be 71, 72. Ami Estate. What's this right-hand drive one? Ooh. 64. So this is what it looks like. It's due to just restored your car. Look at that red bench seat in the front. Someone's very kindly let me have a look at the interior of this one. This is a P, so a 76, 77 plate. A bit more luxurious in here. Probably has the larger engine as well, I should imagine, by now. Yeah, it's an ami super. Very, very kindly, they've also put in the French sort of style, but that's the cubic capacity, that's the top speed in kilometres an hour. (1969) Ami 8 state. Yeah, that dash is a bit crazier, so this is an earlier car. French specification, I think, this one. Citroen H-Van, it's a 65. Just finished having a look at this restored 64 car. Just look at this angle. I think there was a Lincoln that had a similar styling feature to this in the late 50s. So I believe the designer for Citroen did this was Flavio Bertoni. So he would have been influenced probably by that, but the rest of it's all crazy like they were. Right, we'll go over here and have a look at this. Have a look at this Citroen SM, Citroen Car Club. Very, very luxurious. Yes. It's called the Dubavi power steering system. L, so the 72-73 plate, 6-cylinder engine, loads of funny green spheres, LHM, all sorts of excitement like that. I think Burt Reynolds drove one of these in a film called The Longest Yard. Something to remember. Oh, this is a very early 2CV. This is 58. Certainly got a ripple bonnet. There's just nothing to it at all. There's absolutely nothing to this car. And that window goes all the way down. So, you know, I think in earlier ones you could put that right further down than that. I'm not an expert on these things.
Yeah,
I recognise this car from the social event at Brooklands back in August. So I think this is the final Citroen GS best sold remaining, from what I remember. Yeah, 78. There's not many of those around. So, yeah, there we go. Registered in Bognor Regis, Portsmouth plate I believe on that, actually. They didn't bother converting the wipers, did they? Look at that houndstooth interior. Wow. DS, purpose and competition. Oh, it's a two-door. Interesting. 71 plate. I think. Oh, yes. I've been wondering where this stand is. I think we have some familiar faces on the other side of it. But first of all, we'll look at this Giulia. Oh no, it's not a Giulia. It's the 2000 Berliner injection. I always get them confused, viewers. It's very bad. 73 Alfa Romeo 2000 Berliner injection. I really love that colour. It's a lot more purple than it actually looks on video. Is that? I don't think it's a leather interior, but it is a beige interior. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. I also like this Alfa TI. This is I think they call them a Series 3, so this is one of the last Alfa Cids made. be sort of 82, 83, something like that, right at the end. That is lovely. Most of them just sort of disintegrated into piles of dust. Ah, yes, here we are. This is a car that actually has appeared on the channel before on Gentleman Secondhand Classics. It's a 2004 Alfa Romeo 166 2-litre twin-spark Lusso. Good morning, Mr Coleman.
Okay.
And here is Mr Coleman, also known as Rubbish Mechanic. I knew we'd find you here, sir.
Yes.
You've been working very hard on it. It's looking very shiny.
Yes, it's had some new paint.
It certainly has, sir. Wow.
It's very nice now.
You've got your whole collection, including a Carabinieri model.
Yes, it's all good. Nice to see you, mate.
I knew we'd find some tasty treats here, Mr Coleman, and this is one of them.
Yes, we've got a nice TI over there.
Indeed we have, sir. I do enjoy that sort of thing.
And a fuel-injected 2-litre Bellina.
I know, sir. Iniezione, if I say that right. Excellent. Mr Coleman's also been doing some engine detailing. So if you wanted to see what a very, very clean twin spot looks like, well, this is it. Very nice. So, the Lancia Motor Company. Do like Lancia's, viewers. I might even have a review of the Lancia coming up on the channel fairly soon. But for now, very, very nice. Lancia Fulvia Series 1 Coupe Rally HF. And I don't know if this is a 69 or 1970, sorry, 1970, it does say on there. That is really quite tasty. 1954 Lancia Aurelia Coupe Series 4. Oh, that's lovely. That's really, really nice. Look at that upholstery there. And that steering wheel. Big hubcaps on this. Lovely colour. That, viewers, is very, very nice. What on earth is this H-plate doing on this old Lancia? That's very strange. I think what it is that a lot of the time, before about 1980, cars were just registered on whatever plate was the year of their arrival in the country. And the right-hand drive isn't the fact that this is built for the UK, it's just the fact that Lancia used to make right-hand drive cars, even for the Italian market. I don't really know why, but that's the way that it was. Very nice. Another car that I've actually had on the channel, not this particular one, but a similar one, although someone has switched the Chrysler badges for Lancia. Let's just see, normally on the rear window, there we go, you can see there's a little Chrysler logo on. So these Lancia badges have been added aftermarket, but this is a late 2013, early 2014. What would be a Chrysler Delta. I haven't had a Delta on the channel. This is the if this is temporary with the car, then this would be very, very late in the imports, because they stopped importing them in 2013. They started imports in 2011, and the car that I filmed on my channel, which is a white one, I forget the trim that it was, it's been a long time since I've thought about it actually, is a sort of ivory colour. This one unfortunately has a forbidden fuel engine in it, so we won't be able to talk about it. But yeah, someone's made this Chrysler into a Lancia. No need for that though here. Delta Integrale. Very, very nice. So these are 16-inch wheels. Yeah, they're 16, so these are the original wheels of the car. Original spec door mirrors. Look at that. There's a blue leather interior there. It's quite nice. It looks like quite a late one. See if there's actually a plate on this one so we can have a look. No, but it is an Evo 2, so it was one of the last ones made, 93, 94 I think. Right, I've heard that there's a Volvo 780 somewhere around here, so let's go and have a look at that. Oh viewers, here is a Volvo 780. It's one of the nicest cars Volvo ever made, and it was never sold in this country, only available in left-hand drive. And look viewers, it's got a beige leather interior. I do like a nice beige leather interior viewers, and it's full of nice wood. I do agree with Mr Coleman, who made me aware of this. That is really rather nice. Very, very nice. Small Volvos here. It's Amazon. But that engine I don't think is original. But is it a white block or a red block? Answers in the comments section below. B234. Does that mean it's red block? I don't know, viewers. Very bad on the engine codes. Anyway. Wow, I bet that's fast. 210 horsepower, I bet that's fast. Just take a look at that because... Ooh. Hello. That's been trimmed rather nicely. Early Volvo P1800 with the disc wheels and the cow horn bumpers. 62, so it's a very, very early one. Owned by Volvo Heritage UK. So this is exceptionally similar to the car that they used in the same, but it's not that because I think the letters on the registration with DXC or something like that, so I think it's 71 DXC, but it's pretty much exactly the same. Wow. I feel like Roger Moore. And over here we've got, well, some even more tasty treats. We've got a car that's sort of similar to the one from the Protectors, so that's a 73 on an M. This is a later 1800, this is the 1800E. 6970 plate on this. By this time they're made in Sweden, not in West Bromwich, like the earlier ones were. 1994 Volvo T5R. Not so fond of the colour, but that is a fast car. So we're approaching the end of this first part. I haven't even got round about a quarter of this haul, so there might be quite a few parts to the Shambolic Shuffle around the NEC Classic Car Show. But thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for the other numerous parts that will be uploaded over the next few days. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below, switch on notifications, that really does help. And I will leave you with this very nice Volvo C70. I think this one, I'm not sure it's the one that's used in the Saint film, but it's one with the plate on there. I think the Saint film had an American registration one. But anyway, thank you once again.